Yeah,
5.
finish this and I'll get you.
I'll start from the top again, yeah.
Yeah.
Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you.
Yep.
Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten.
Right, their riches are corrupted, man. And it's going to get to that point where their riches is not going to be able to uphold them anymore. You see, when you're rich and you're a trillionaire, or you work billions and billions of pounds, you feel comfortable in your stead, in your position. However, that's not always going to be there. Because when the judgment comes, give me that in Proverbs 11 and 1. Because when the judgment of the Lord comes, your riches is not going to be able to have you escape out of that, or protect you and guard you from that. Okay?
Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you. And shall eat your flesh as it were fire.
Right, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire, man. Go on.
Ye have heaped treasure together for the last days.
Right, and they have heaped treasures unto themselves. And that's what they've done all along. They've gathered all of the natural resources and gold and gave all of the masses of the people this fiat currency, which is deducting and changing all the time. And it's not changing for the better, it's changing for the worse. And this is why when you go to the stores, the price of your goods is skyrocketing in price, or going up in price. Why is that? Because the currency you hold in your hand is deducting time after time after time. While the elite banking elite, they're holding the real resources. They're holding the real finances, which is gold and silver. All right, but even that's going to be cankered. Okay, go on.
Verse 4. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields.
Right, the hires of your laborers who have reaped down your fields. We're the hires of the laborers. Go on.
Which is of you kept back by fraud.
Which is of you kept back by fraud. Because when we understand these different companies that you work for, like let's just take Sainsbury's for example. Let's take Amazon for example. These are multi-billion-dollar pound companies. And how much are the people are getting back in return? They're getting very little back in return. Okay, versus the amount of money that these major corporations are getting. Okay, because everything out here is based on fraud, man. You got certain brothers, man, they just working, and it's like they ain't working for anything. Because once you get done paying your rent, paying your bill, whatever, you ain't got no money. But yet you got these corporate, multi-billion-pound companies out there that are hoarding all of the wealth. Oh, okay. Okay, that's understandable. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it goes, man. Read that verse one more time.
James 5, Salakia, and 4.
Right.
Behold, the hirer of the laborers who have reaped down your fields.
The laborers have kept, what is it, reaped down your fields, right?
Which is of you kept back by fraud.
Because these work is placed to okay, you got brothers, like I said, you got brothers that have to work, and it's like they ain't even getting nothing in return. You know what I'm saying? And the reason being is because this place is all based on fraud, and it's all based on the super rich gaining wealth. As the saying goes, the richer get richer and the poorer get poorer. That's how this system is set up. So if you're the rich, or you're coming from that position, then you're gonna get benefits, okay, or you're gonna get acknowledged, you're gonna get more help financially. But if you're poor, you're not gonna get any help whatsoever. So this system is all based on fraud, and the society cannot go on by fraud. Because an unjust balance is an abomination to the Lord. It is an abomination unto nation. So in order for you to keep a society going forward and forward, you have to keep things in justification. Like in the kingdom, we're gonna have a system set up the way all Israel's gonna be taken care of. All right, you're not gonna have poor people amongst our people in Israel when we rise up to the scene. So you're gonna have a lot of money to take care of those that are in need. Okay, and even the poor in our kingdom, they're gonna be rich. So it's gonna be a totally different setup. With this society right here, this society is based on the rich succeeding and the poorer getting poorer. Give me that in what is it? Isaiah 47, I believe it is.
So Proverbs 11?
Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 11 verse 1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. but a just weight is his delight. Proverbs 11:1. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord.
Right, because the way the society is set up is unjust all around. It's imbalanced. All around the society. You look at it from a moral standpoint of view. You look at it from a financial standpoint of view. Everything's imbalanced. And the Lord is going to level the balances.
Yeah.
And set everything in just weight and just weight and weight. Okay, because the way Esau does things is he'll gather as much as he can. Go on. You got it right here.
Moment down 1 verse 5. If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night,
Right.
how art thou cut off?
Right.
Would they not have stolen till they had enough?
Right.
Now, if the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some
Right.
grapes?
Will they not leave some grapes? And when you actually do the higher up, man can eat all the rich. That's how they think. Their mentality is to keep all of the wealth and all of their goods to themselves, rather than sharing some. And they have more than what is a heart can wish. They have more than what eyes can see, but yet when it comes to giving a little bit out there and there, they don't want to do that. They just like to hoard wealth. That's the mindset of these rich elitist so-called Europeans. That's how they think. And the Bible prophesied that would be the case, because the Lord got their numbers. Go on.
Leviticus 19 verse 9. And when ye reap the harvest of your land,
Right.
thou shalt not wholly reap the corners of thy field,
Exactly.
neither shalt thou gather the gleanings of thy harvest.
Right, go on.
And thou shalt not glean thy vineyard, neither shalt thou gather every grape of thy vineyard.
Right.
Thou shalt leave them for the poor and stranger.
Right.
I am Yahweh,
Right.
your God.
Yeah, because you can't eat all of that stuff, man. You can't gather all of the fruit of the tree or gather all of the grapes, because that goes into gluten, that goes into greediness, and that's the spirit of the so-called white man. If there's a whole long field of grapes by the billions, he'll gather as much as he can and keep all of it for himself. Go on.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine,
Right.
he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell,
Yep.
and is as death, and cannot be
And
satisfied.
it's as death and cannot be satisfied, because he got the people on lock already. He wanna revive the civilization and reestablish it as a new world order system, to where he can pretty much gather all of the people as one unit. So he ain't satisfied with what he got. But that kind of mindset and that kind of spirit, that greedy mentality, is going to lead him to be destroyed, man. Okay, that mentality is going to lead him to go down. And that's exactly what's happening right now. Economically, moralistically, they're going downhill. But let's just do it from an economic, financial standpoint of view, they're going down. All right, the Iranians, the Russians, and all of these other countries are dropping the dollar like it's nothing. And the more they're dropping the dollar, the more inflation is increasing. Okay, go on.
And is as death, and cannot be satisfied.
Right, Esau cannot be satisfied. Like I said, if there's a whole field of grapes, clusters of grapes, the mentality that Esau has, he will literally try and gather as much grapes as he can, and he wouldn't think about leaving some for people that need it. That's how these devils think, and the Bible got their numbers, and we read the Bible. So once you understand the Bible, you understand the different races of the people you're dealing with, and you understand life in general. Okay, this is why we not come out here and say, well, you know, you got some Edomites that are okay, you got some so-called white people that are okay, you know, you gotta forgive them and this and that and the third. No, we're not gonna forgive them because they didn't forgive us when we needed forgiveness. The Lord said, the Lord ain't gonna show mercy to the merciless. Okay? So like I said, when you understand this Bible in its totality, you understand everything in its existence. Because the Christians don't know anything. I'm gonna just say that right now. They don't believe in this Bible really, and they really don't understand what this Bible is all about, and they don't understand the way they live. Okay? But we're gonna jump right back on point. Go on.
Precept, yeah?
Yep.
James chapter 2, verse 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy.
Right, he shall have judgment without mercy, man. So the Lord is not going to show Esau no mercy. Who is Esau, the so-called white man? Go on.
Deuteronomy 24, verse 14.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Oh, you want to finish that?
Yeah, finish that, because he was reading. Come on.
James.
Gotta be fair, brother.
Yeah, James chapter 2, verse 13. For he shall have judgment without mercy.
Yeah.
That have shown no mercy.
Right, that's it. Thou hast showed no mercy, man.
Yeah.
And the Most High set Esau up to be in power and destroy his ass without no mercy, because he showed no mercy. The Lord, like I said, Esau is a man of no mercy. Okay, Esau is so wicked that he will hold all of the food as much as he can for himself. Even if it's gold, anything that has some sort of valuability, he'll take it all and gather it for himself and fill up his belly. Okay, and then don't leave anything for anybody else. So that's a merciless spirit right there, man. All right, go on. Let him finish this, because he's got to finish that.
All right. For he shall have judgment without mercy.
Yep.
That have shown no mercy.
Yep.
And mercy rejoiceth against judgment.
Right, and mercy rejoiceth against judgment. See that? Go on.
Deuteronomy 24, verse 14.
I'll get to you as well.
Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant
Right,
that
thou
is
shalt
poor
not.
and needy.
Right, read that again.
Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant.
Right, thou shalt not oppress and hired servant. And that's what the society does all the day long. So those that are without need, okay, or they're coming from a homeless situation and they go get a job, they still homeless, man. Okay, they still in that same situation. So even if you work, let's say you poor, you still working, you get a little minimum wage, right? Guess what? These different companies, these bill companies, which are probably billion-pound corporate companies, they're taking your money and the tax.
Yeah.
So that's oppression right there. So let's say you making like probably like what, 15,000 a year. Guess what? The tax is going to take their cut. The bill companies are going to take their cut. The rent is going to take their cut. Before you know, you ain't got anything. Okay, and then you have to pay other things as well. So this society is based on the oppression of the poor. So if you're coming from a poor background or lower class sector background, they're gonna make sure that you stay in that position, because you're a very important, you're a very important asset to keeping the rich and keeping the society going. And this is why they don't want to elevate those that are below the green. Because if you elevate those that are below the green, how can this society withstand itself? So they thought it out real smart. Okay, they planned it real well. Go on.
Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy.
Right.
Whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land, in thy gates.
And he even does it to his own people. You got Edomites that are poor in the ghettos with Jake. Okay, or you got actual Edomites that are homeless on the street.
Yeah.
So there's a law on that, man. So even Esau goes up on that. But as it tells you in Genesis 4, that going back to Cain, he was not his brother's keeper. So Esau ain't his brother's keeper. He's going to disrespect the law all the way through. Because he don't give a shit. Esau's all about gaining wealth unto himself. All right? Filling up his own belly in wealth. That's what he's all about, man. But with that kind of mentality, that brings about an unjust system. So if that's how you're ruling a system or a society, right, in an unjust fashion like that, then how can a society withstand itself? Because you have to have the poor or the middle class benefit as well, so they can like work and flourish as well and keep the society going. But if one people are just being, if one people are getting the benefits, one set of people are getting the benefits, then it's unjust, man. Go on.
At his day, thou shalt give him his hire.
Right, and in that day shall you give him his hire. Okay, don't hold, okay, you know what, you've worked for a week, so what we'll do is I will pay you for the month.
Right, yeah.
Okay? Or we'll pay you after the week. No, you're supposed to give that person the money right there and then after they get done fulfilling their hours. Alright, but this society don't do that. You know, you work for a company, they're giving you money a month time. But I understand why they're doing that, because a lot of these corporate companies, they're losing money and they want to hoard that money. Okay, they want to make sure that they stay in that same position. Because the more the more greater you become financially, the more afraid you are going to be of losing that money. All right? Go on.
Neither shall the sun go down upon it.
Right, neither shall the sun go down upon it. So on that very moment in time and day, you pay him his money, or you pay her money. That's how it goes, man. But this society don't do that. You gotta wait days on end just so you can get your paycheck. This society is all based on justification. On the poor. If you're poor and you ain't worth a damn, they not gonna pay you no mind. Alright? Even if you're trying to get your life together, you're trying to do the best you can to support the children, to support yourself and losing your wife and your family. They don't give two shits about that, man. They want you down and out so that they can benefit off you.
Yeah.
Go on.
For he is poor and setteth his heart upon it.
Right, and set up his heart upon it.
Lest he cry against thee unto Yahweh, and it be sin.
Exactly. And this is why you have to bend the Lord crying out right now. Because you got certain brothers, they want this society to go down because they're not getting their fair share. Even on a financial tip. Okay, go on.
Psalms 94 and 3. How long? Lord, how long shall the wicked triumph?
Right, how long shall the wicked triumph? Who's the wicked? Get Malachi 1:4.
How long shall they utter and speak hard things?
Right.
And all the workers of iniquity boast themselves.
Right, and the workers of iniquity boast themselves because they do boast themselves. They walk around like they shit don't stink. They walk around with the suit and tie, with that turkey neck hanging down they neck. Okay, and they walk proudly, man, like they can never be brought down because they have all of that wealth stacked up, and they have not given any or shared that wealth to even on their own. And this is why you're going to have revolts in the near future. When all hell breaks loose and they collapse the system, or they set up major cyber attacks, that's when the people are going to lose their mind from there. All right? Let me finish this.
They break in pieces thy people,
Right,
O Lord, and afflict thine heritage.
They break in pieces thy people, and that's what they did during, 70 AD. They broke the residue in pieces. But that's even talking about on a financial tip as well, and all around. Okay, because the scripture says they have worn out the saints of the Lord. So there's going to be judgment you paid for that. And then you got the same people that look down on you at the same time. So it's an unjust system all around. It's unjust, man. All right? But this is why in this society you got to be sharp. You got to be on your feet at all times, because when you down and out, man, ain't nobody going to pick you up. You by yourself in this world. That's the way Esau got it. That's why everybody's out for themselves. Go on, bro. It's almost you pretty much in survival mode out here. Go on, bro.
Verse 6, they slay the widow and the stranger and murder the fatherless.
Right.
Yet they say, the Lord Yahweh shall not see, neither shall the power of Jacob regard it.
Right, that's what they say to themselves. Oh yeah, the Lord, he'll forget about that. No, the Lord ain't gonna forget about that, because them spirits are going before the Father, and the widow's crying out to the Lord. All right, so all of these things that Esau has done, as we're gonna keep talking about Esau, because Esau is the man of the face of the earth right now, so we're gonna talk about it. All right, we're not gonna escape from Esau. We're gonna keep talking about it until he goes to hell down. All right, I was gonna say the fuck down. You know what I mean? I'm doing my best now. Stop the cussing, Go on.
Because basically, the Amalekites, they're ruling this unjust system, right? And so let me read it. Deuteronomy 25, verse 17. Remember what Amalek did unto thee by the way, when you were come forth out of Egypt, how he met thee by the way, and smote the hitmost of thee, even all that were feeble behind thee, when thou wast faint and weary, and he feared not the Most High. Right? Remember that, he feared not the Most High.
And they don't fear the Lord now.
Right. Therefore it shall be, when Yahweh thy God hath given thee rest from all thine enemies round about, in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it, that thou shalt blot out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven,
Yeah.
Thou shalt not forget it. So you got people that say we're gonna forget about the shit that we did. The scriptures say we're never meant to forget. It's a law. It's a law that we don't forget. You know what I'm saying? So that's a scripture we can bring out against people that say, oh, that's in the past. The scripture says we should never forget.
Just say
Right.
that that's what all the other nations, they remember everything that's done to them, but when it comes
Right.
to us, they're like,
gotta
yeah,
forget
just
about it.
forget it, that's the past. And then just move on.
Yeah.
You know, so that's a law in the scriptures. You know, that we're never meant to forget what Amalek did to us 3,500 years ago.
Yeah.
So this is 3,500 years later, and we're still meant to hold it. You know what I'm saying? And charge him against it. And remember it said, and he feared not the Most High. Now this is another precept, Luke 18 verse. Let me start with verse 1. And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men ought always to pray and not to faint. Right? They were saying there was in a city a judge which feared not the Most High. Right? Amalek. Neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, which is us. And she came unto him, saying, avenge me of mine adversary. And he would not for a while. But afterward he said within himself, though I fear not the Most High, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. So can I break it down? Right. Because he kept going to Amalek, kept looking for justice, right? For like vengeance, for reparations on that, right? So Esau, you know, he allowed it. You know what I'm saying? He gave us jobs and everything. He took obviously the shackles and chains off, and he gave us like how we are living right now. So that's his means of, you know, giving us some type of liberation.
Right.
All right. Least by our continual sorrow, we're gonna trouble him. Right? Otherwise we would have revolted. We would have seeked to slaughter Esau. Now one of the main things that Esau was afraid of was that we'd come in the night and slit his throat. Right? So we would be troubling him in that sense. So Esau, you know, gave us some liberty, gave us the American dream. Alright? So we'd be dependent on him. So Esau's smart. Esau said, how can I make these slaves rely upon me and love me without wanting to kill me? You know what I'm trying to say? So Esau, this is him right here. Yet because this widow troubleth me, I will avenge her, at least by her continued coming, she weary me. And the Lord said, hear what the unjust judge saith, and shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? So the Lord, the Most High, is going to avenge his elect. It never said anything about the 2/3. It says avenge his elect. So the Most High, that shows you right here, Yahweh